Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Haloyam Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Quitash. All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who have taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you, you so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, and you so-called Native Americans. You are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, I got this video here of a man named Steve Ram. All right, and what he does is report on news, man. All right, he reports on current news, and I follow this man. All right, he has a YouTube channel. All right, but I follow this man, you know, just to stay up on current news, man. All right, to watch, man. All right, to know what's happening, to know what's going on, man, because he be on it, man. All right, but there's this video of him right here that I have, you know, and at the top it reads, U.S. holds Middle East secret meeting of peace and safety. All right, now we all know what the scriptures say. All right, when they shall say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction cometh. All right, so now the U.S. is holding, all right, secret meeting with the Middle East, all right, of peace and safety. So that's how we know great sudden destruction, all right, is right around the corner, man. All right, it's imminent, man. We ain't got too much longer, man. Nuclear missiles are going to fly, all right, because no peace is coming. No peace is coming. The Lord set up the nations, all right, to divide them, man. All right, the Lord said, I am not come to send peace on earth, all right, but rather division. All right, the Lord set up nations, all right, to divide them, all right, to set up division. All right, you understand? So no peace is coming on this earth, man. All right, and the true prophets and the true servants of the Lord, they don't speak about peace. They're telling you that death and destruction and nuclear devastation is coming, man. The prophets always spoke about war and hell and evils and pestilences, man. And that's exactly what the true prophets of the Lord are telling you today, man. That America's going to be destroyed and wiped off the face of this earth. All right, America's the main kingdom and empire we're prophesying against. All right, we're letting this place know that it's going to fall and be destroyed. And it is going to be destroyed. We know it's going to be destroyed because the word of the Lord speaks about it, man. It's prophecy in the scriptures, man. All right, it's not a matter of if, just a matter of when. Because the Lord makes things happen when he wants it to happen. All right, but we know it's right around the corner because the prophecies are jumping out the scriptures like crazy right now, man. It's more than it's so evident, all right, who the true prophets and the true servants of the Lord are, man. It's more evident than it has ever been, man. Because everything that we have been prophesying and teaching and speaking on is finally coming to pass, man. It's finally coming to pass, man. Everything that's happening on this earth right now, all the brothers that are in this truth, all right? If you see everything that's going on in the earth right now, it should be boosting your faith, man. Because the prophecy is jumping out the scriptures like crazy right now, man. All right, World War III is about to pop off. You see what's going on with Israel and Iran? All right, because Israel and Iran play a great major part in biblical prophecy, man. You understand? All right, in these last days, in this third world war. All right, and that's how the elites, all right, are going to start this third world war, by bringing conflict between the Muslim world and the Judaism world. All right, the elites have a plan that's called the Albert Pike and Mazzini plan, which is a plan to start 3 world wars. All right, and the third world war was to bring conflict between the Muslim world and the Judaism world. And that's exactly what you see happening right now. You can read about that in a book called Satan's Angels Exposed. All right, it's called the Albert Pike and Mazzini plan, which is a plan to start 3 world wars. And the third world war was to bring conflict between the Muslim world and the Judaism world. And that's exactly what you see happening right now, bro. All right, in all wars, all right, are created by the bankers, all right? The reason why they start these 3 world wars, all right, because it's part of their New World Order agenda, all right, to bring forth their New World Order, all right, to give the elites more power, all right? It brings them money, all right, because there's a lot of money in war. When you read a book called The World Order by Eustace Mullins, all right, it goes in how the Rothschilds create all the wars, man. All right, and the wars can't be started unless the bankers, all right, the Rothschilds give that go. So when a nation attacks another nation, all right, that's the order coming down from the Rothschilds, the elite banking families, man. All right, and they also determine the outcome of wars as well. All right, the elite banking families. All right, but we know it's ultimately coming down, all right, from the Most High. All right, Yahweh, because he controls everything. All right, but he just uses Esau, Edom, all right, to bring destruction on this earth, right? Because your scriptures say the wicked is the Lord's sword. The wicked being the wicked race of this earth, which is the Edomite race, which is the so-called white race, starting with the elite banking families. That is what Esau, Edom's blessing was. All right, when you read Genesis, the 27th chapter, around the 40th verse, all right, Isaac blessed Esau with what? The sword. That he was going to rule with the sword, meaning that he was going to rule by destruction on this planet Earth, cause wars. All right, that also goes into Revelation, the 6th chapter, the red horse and the pale horse. All right, but anyway, let's get into these scriptures, man. All right, it says U.S. holds Middle East secret meeting of peace and safety. So let's get that, man. All right, that's in Thessalonians. When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh. KJV. All right, let's get it. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. All right. It says 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. Yeah, because no peace is coming. No peace is coming. The Lord's will is to swallow this earth by thermonuclear destruction, thermonuclear fire. No peace is coming between these nations. The Lord's will is to gather the nations together for World War III. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. All right, let's get that real quick. All right, Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter. All right, Zephaniah 3:8. All right, this is a World War III scripture I'm about to read. All right, Zephaniah 3:8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right, until the day that I rise up together to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations. All right, and that's exactly what the Lord is doing right now. He's gathering all the nations together, man, for World War III. All right. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms. All right, that's exactly what the Lord is doing. He's gathering the nations together. He's assembling all these kingdoms for World War III. All right. It says, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation. Yeah, so the Lord is bringing all these nations together, all these kingdoms together for World War III, so he could destroy them. But why is he doing that? All right, because all these nations, all they have done was spoil, destroy, and oppress the nation of Israel. All throughout the course of history. Who is the nation of Israel? The Negro, Latino, Native American man. All right. All throughout the course of history. All right. The nation of Israel has been spoiled and destroyed, oppressed, all throughout the course of history till this very day, to this exact moment that I'm speaking, man. All right. The Lord is bringing in what the Lord is doing. He's doing that for us. He's destroying all these nations for us, man. He's bringing them together just so they could all destroy themselves by nuclear destruction. Because what he's doing is he's bringing all these nations down, and he's raising the Israelites to be kings and gods and rulers of this planet Earth once again. But this time it's going to be forever and ever and ever, and the nation of Israel is never going to come down. All right, because that's when Yahweh Shai comes back, because it's really the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. The kingdom of Israel is Yahweh Shai's kingdom. It's just he's going to share his throne with the elect. All right, and we're going to be shared heirs with Yahweh Shai. All right, it's really Yahweh Shai's kingdom, Yahweh Shai's earth. All right, let's read this. All right, it says, verse 8, Zephaniah 3 and 8, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation. The word indignation means righteous anger. Let's keep reading. All right, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Woo! So the Lord is bringing all these nations together, all right, to pour upon them his indignation, all his fierce anger. All right, the last part says, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. And that's talking about the nuclear destruction, the nuclear missiles that are going to rain upon this earth in this third world war, man. No peace is coming. That's why the scriptures say, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh. Because the Lord don't want you to get it confused, man. No peace is coming, man. All right? Talking about peace and safety. No peace is coming, man. The true prophets and the true servants of the Lord are telling you what I'm telling you, man. All right? The prophets always spoke about war and destruction. They didn't speak about nothing else, man. That's why the prophets were always hated, man. All right? Because they spoke about things that the nation of Israel didn't want to hear. And that's how it's like today, man. Our people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear smooth things. They want to listen to deceit, things that make them feel good, man. You know? So matter of fact, let's get that Jeremiah. You know, I like getting the scripture. I always bring the scripture out. Jeremiah 28 and 8. All right, because Jeremiah himself was a prophet, and this is what Jeremiah said. All right, Jeremiah 28 and 8, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, both. Excuse me, read that again. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms. And that's exactly what the true prophets of the Lord today are doing. Because the prophets of the ancient world are the prophets of today. The prophets of today are the ancient prophets coming back, man. Through reincarnation, man. Because you always fall back into your lot. All right. If you were a prophet in the ancient world, you're a prophet today. All right. You know, you always fall back into the lie. You always fall back into doing what you was meant to do. You know? All right. Just like the Lord told Daniel. But we'll get that in a second. All right. It says Jeremiah 28 and 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms. And that's what we're doing. We're letting all these nations and kingdoms, all right, we're letting all these nations and kingdoms know that they're getting ready to be destroyed. We're prophesying against them, letting them know that they're going to fall and be destroyed. And what's the main kingdom we're prophesying against? Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. We're letting all you people know, starting with the elite banking families, that this place is going to fall, man. All right. It's going to be destroyed. All right, we're letting Esau Edom know that he's going to be a slave. He's going into chains and shackles. You know? They're prophesying against many nations and kingdoms, man. We're prophesying against this wicked ass world, man. All right, and that's why the true prophets and the true servants of the Lord are hated, because we testify against this world. Let them to know that their works are evil, man. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted this earth. 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter, the 6th verse, man. All right. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evils and pestilences. So that's and pestilence, and as we're reading right here, this is what the prophets always spoke about. Jeremiah is saying the prophets always spoke about war, evil, and pestilence. And that's exactly what the prophets of the Lord today are doing. They're not telling you that peace is coming. The true prophets, that is. They're not telling you that peace is coming. You know, you got these false prophets. You know, these wacky tacky pastors in these Christian churches, man. All right, they'll tell you that peace is, everything's going to be all right. Nothing's going to happen to this place. America's going to be destroyed, man. This place is finished. It's done. It's about to become a desert, literally. All right? And I had a scripture in mind that I said I might grab it. All right, but I forgot what it was. All right? Let me see if I could, if it comes to my mind, then, I'll grab it. All right, but anyway, let me go back to this video that I had of Steve Ram, all right? This is off the internet, all right, because he reports on news, all right? He was reporting on how the U.S., all right, holds a Middle East secret meeting of peace and safety, man. And like we just read earlier, all right, let's grab it again. All right, 1 Thessalonians. All right, 1 Thessalonians, let's grab it. Oh yeah, because I went to grab it before and I didn't read it. All right, so let's grab it. 1 Thessalonians 5. In 5 and 3, it says, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3, it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. All right, because that's the type of meeting they're holding. All right, a meeting of peace and safety. All right, but no safety and peace is coming between these nations, because the Lord came to set up division amongst these nations. All right, and I'll get that in a second, but let me read this verse. All right, it says, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. All right. Matter of fact, let me get it before I forget it. All right. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth, but yea, rather division, KJV. All right. And these are the words of the Messiah. All right. Luke 12 and 51. All right. This is Luke 12 and 51. Matter of fact, let me get in the blue letter. All right. Luke 12. All right. And 51. All right. These are the words of Yahweh Shai. As you see, these words are in red. All right. It says Luke 12 and 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. Yeah. The Lord ain't come to set up peace on earth. All right. It says, suppose ye that I am come to send peace on earth? I tell you, nay. Yeah, he said, no, I didn't come to send peace on earth, man. If that was the case, these nations wouldn't be at war, man. World War I wouldn't have happened, 2 and 3, that's about to pop off. All right. It says Luke 12 and 51, suppose ye that I am come to send peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. That's what the Lord came to do, to divide, man. All right, please excuse me. I had to pause the video for a second. All right, but anyway, like I said, the Lord came to bring division. All right, the Lord didn't come to bring peace on earth. That's in what, like when you read right here, that's within households and nations, man. Because when you read Deuteronomy, I think 32 and 8. All right, the Lord said he divided the nations. All right, why did the Lord divide the nations? Because that's how he wanted, man. He didn't want all nations together, man. You understand? All right, just like at the Tower of Babel, man. All right, when all the nations try to come together as one, that was the first time a new world order was trying to be created, man. All right, because see, this is an old concept. This new world order thing is an old concept. It goes all the way back to the Tower of Babel, man. And what happened at the Tower of Babel? The Lord wasn't with all the nations coming together. So what he do, he confound the languages, man. And now everybody couldn't be able to talk with each other. So he divided people. He divided nations. All right, the Lord didn't set up that all these nations to come together. All right, you know. That's why he's going to bring war amongst these nations, man. So no peace is coming in the Middle East. The war is coming, man. It's inevitable, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. All right. War is coming between these nations, man. All right. So let's go back to 1 Thessalonians, all right, 5:3. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. So we know this destruction is imminent, man. It's getting ready to pop off, man. All right. It says, as travail upon a woman with child. All right. And they shall not escape. Woo. All right. This destruction that's coming, you people are not going to be able to escape it, man. If you're allotted to be destroyed in this destruction, all right, that's exactly what's going to happen to you, man. All right. All that over there in the Middle East, Europe, Russia, you know, China, all that, Asia, all right, all that's going to be destroyed and swallowed by fire. And so is America. Okay, America is going to be completely eradicated and swept off the face of this earth, man. All right, so let's go back into this video. Let's see what Steve Ram talking about. All right, let's get it.
2025, as today we are hearing that the United States has held a secret meeting that would bring and broker peace and safety to the world, starting with the Middle East. Now I'm going to share with you the latest.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, like we just read, and they shall not escape. All right, no peace is coming, bro. No peace is coming. All right, come on, man.
Headlines, video footage, articles coming out on this today, July 5th, 2025.
The prophecy is already written. The prophecy is already written. So there's nothing you could do, bro. It's inevitable, whether you like it or not, or believe it or not. All right, Romans chapter 3, where the Apostle Paul said, he said, what if some did not believe? Would that make the faith of the Most High without none effect? Just because you don't believe it, it don't matter. If that doesn't make it, it's not going to stop it from coming to pass. Right? America getting ready to be destroyed and wiped off and eradicated off the face of this earth, man. All right, very, very soon, man. Yahweh Shai getting ready to crack that sky with the angels on chariots, and you people going to drop dead from the sight of it, man. Thinking it's an alien invasion. We getting invaded by aliens because the Lord is coming back on chariots, man. Some of you think it's going to, some of y'all going to think it's Project Bluebeam. Some of y'all think it's going to be a laser and drone show. You going to think it's fake. Some of y'all going to think it's a hologram, Project Bluebeam, and then you going to get zapped in the mist. You know?
So you can see it for yourself, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that we're going to be able to bring peace to all regions of the world through brokering some sort of agreement?
No, I just broke it down this whole time. This whole time I was speaking, bro. All right? No, because it's prophecy. The prophecy is already written, bro. So no peace is coming. Destruction is coming. All right?
A peace accord. We're hearing this is going to be starting with the Abraham Accords right here, right now in 2025. Let me know your thoughts. If you think there will be peace, put peace. If you think no, and you're still skeptical of Iran and some of the other nations and their opposition to the United States and Israel, put war.
Yeah, the scriptures say that the Iranians, all right, when you read 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, all right, the Iranians are known as the Carmanians in that chapter. All right. It says the Carmanians shall come through like the wild boars in the wood, and with great power shall they come. All right. And join battle with them and and waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All right. The land of the Assyrians is a dark saying for America. All right. It's not talking about the actual land of Assyria. It's talking about America. So Iran is it. There's no peace is coming, bro. Iran is going to shoot missiles over here in America, man. It's prophecy. It's written. It's written. They're going to join battle with Russia and shoot missiles over here. all right, to waste a portion of the land of the, all of America is going to be destroyed. All right, but the scriptures say they shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All right, which is America, man. All right, so we know through prophecy, just like I've been breaking down this whole time, we know through prophecy, all right, that no peace is coming. We know through the word of the Lord that no peace is coming. So we can't be fooled. All right, come on, man.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but take a look at the latest headlines so you can see it for yourself. Coming out today, actually, first reported yesterday, July 4th, Trump meets with the Saudi defense minister in secret meetings, de-escalation reported and discussed. Also, take a look at this headline right here. Peace can be achieved in the Middle East.
But like I keep saying, what do the scriptures say? 1 Thessalonians 5:3, like we keep reading, man. When they shall say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction cometh upon them. All right, like a woman in travail, and they shall not escape. Come on, man. All right.
By committing to Abraham's legacy, rejecting terror opinions. And you can see the subtitle right here says Jews, Muslims, Christians committed to Abraham's legacy can and must come together and discard the sacrilegious methods and goals championed by the Iranian regime, saying, regardless of the religion, we need to go ahead and unify and have peace among us here on earth. Stop with the rhetoric.
All right, like I said, these nations, the Lord ain't with these nations unifying. What happened the last time at the Tower of Babel when the nations tried to unify? The Lord confounded all those nations, confounded their languages. So this time they're going to unify, but the Lord is going to do what? Confound them again. But that confounding is going to be with the nuclear destruction this time, man. Okay?
Of war. Let me know your thoughts. I'm seeing war pouring into the comments, people.
But actually, all right, you see these articles that he's bringing out. I actually, got them here. All right, myself. All right. Let's grab this one real quick. All right, this is from Fox News. All right, this is published July 3rd, 2025. All right, it says Saudi defense minister, all right, or Saudi, how you pronounce it, Saudi defense minister, secretly meets with Trump to discuss Iran de-escalation, Israel. All right, so it says right here, Saudi defense minister Prince Khalid bin Salman, all right, secretly met with President Donald Trump and other key officials in the White House on Thursday to discuss de-escalation efforts with Iran. All right, multiple sources confirmed with Fox News. All right, Khalid, also known as KBS, is the younger brother of Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. All right, it says multiple sources told Fox News Channel's chief political anchor Brett Baier about the meeting. All right. According to sources, the talks included discussions about de-escalation with Iran and getting to the negotiating table. All right. It says the new defense minister of Saudi Arabia, all right, swears in after the change in the cabinet with royal decree of Saudi Arabia and Jeddah. All right. It says the talks, all right, were also reportedly about ending the war in Gaza and negotiating the release of the remaining hostages, whether dead or alive, and about working toward peace in the Middle East. No peace is coming in the Middle East. That's the whole point. That's how the elites are going to start the war. This third world war. Come on, bro. All right. The Albert Pike and Mazzini blueprint. All right. It says about working toward peace in the Middle East. And again, no peace is coming in the Middle East. What did Ezra say? Matter of fact, let's get that. What did Ezra say? All right. 2nd Ezra 15. All right. 2nd Ezra 15, man. All right. Starting at verse 28. All right. Second Ezra 15 and 28, right here at the top, it says, behold, a horrible vision, and appearance thereof from the east. All right, that horrible vision is talking about World War III, this nuclear destruction. And it says, and the appearance thereof from the east, because that's where it's going to be at. That's where it's going to start at, man. The Middle East. So no de-escalation, no peace is coming in the Middle East, bro. That's where it's all going to pop off, man. All right, and then it's going to work its way over here to America, man. And then missiles are going to be shot over here in America, bro. All right, behold, a horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east. So when you read things like, it says, and about working toward peace in the Middle East. No peace is coming over there, bro. All right. War is getting ready to pop off, all right? Although the talks were not exclusively about the possibility of normalization with Israel, sources said the conversation dealt with steps that needed to occur to get there. Sources also said there was progress and optimism on all fronts, but the Lord, see, you got to understand, all right? The scriptures say that the Lord's word shall not return unto him void. All right, so it doesn't matter what goes on. All right, the Lord's will is going to be fulfilled because the Lord, all right, controls the minds of the men on the earth. All right, so don't matter if things might look good or all right. The Lord could snap things in the other direction like that, bro, in the snap of a finger, to make things escalate even higher. Even though they're talking about de-escalation. Come on, man. It says the Saudis are in the process of finalizing a defense and trade deal with the U.S. and message, all right, and the message shared between the two allies, sources added, all right, is that they see eye to eye on all issues. All right, the meeting comes days after Trump said other nations have suggested they would like to join the Abraham Accords amid recent Middle East shakeups and that saw Israel and the U.S. inhibit Iran's nuclear ambitions during what has been dubbed the 12-day war. All right. The Abraham Accords, which sought to normalize relations between Israel, all right, Sunni Gulf states and North African countries, was signed at the White House during the first Trump administration in September 2020, all right? So you continue, reading this article, all right? And the other article that Steve Rand brought out, I got right here, Jerusalem Post. It's basically the same thing. Peace can be achieved in Middle East by committing to Abraham's legacy, rejecting terror, all right? Which that's not going to happen. All right, we've been breaking it down this whole time, bringing out the scriptures that's not going to happen. Peace can be achieved in the Middle East, which is not. All right, the Lord said, suppose that I am come to bring peace. He said, rather nay. He said, yea. He said, nay, but rather division. Come on, man. All right, it says Jews, Muslims, and Christians committed to Abraham's legacy can and must come together to discourse sacrilegious methods, all right, and goals championed by the Iranian regime, and that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, bro. The Lord not with that, all right. It says when Israel's president, all right, Isaac Herzog, addressed a joint session of the United States Congress in July 19th, 2023, he brought along as a guest Leah Golden, all right, a tireless advocate for her son Hadar. All right, Lieutenant Hadar, an Israeli soldier, had been killed 9 years earlier in Gaza following the UN-sponsored humanitarian ceasefire negotiated by the United States. His remains continue to be held hostage by Hamas. All right, of all existential, all right, issues facing Israel, the president of Israel chose to highlight before Congress the plight of this one young man held hostage, underscoring the primacy Judaism, all right, and the state of Israel placed on redeeming captives. Let's see what's going on. All right, yeah, this is talking about, Israel and Iran, the problems they have with each other, all right. Yeah, so you could read this article on your own. All right. Iran's use of brutal attacks. All right. Israel's enemies have taken hostages throughout history. You know. So you can read that. It's titled. It's on the Jerusalem Post. All right. Peace can be achieved in Middle East by committing Abraham's legacy, rejecting terror, which that's not gonna happen, bro. All right. No peace is coming, bro. Nothing but death. Nothing but hell. Nothing but pain and misery and sorrow and anguish is coming, bro. All upon this earth, especially here in America, because this is where the great destruction is going to take place. Okay? Let's see, man. All right? Yeah, all right? So you can read this for yourself, man. All right? So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right? Matter of fact, I got another video. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. All right? It says, as you see at the top, it says, Iran's supreme leader makes first public appearance following 12-day war with Israel. All right? And you see them all amped up, man. All right? So I don't know what they saying, but they be looking, you know what I'm saying? All right, so Lord, yeah, come on, man. All right, the Lord amping things up, bro. All right, so with that being said, all right, I want to say call Halayim Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, so with that being said, until the next one, shalom.